I want to talk about updates on this Israeli incursion into southern Lebanon. Can you kind of give us a just sort of a war report on what's
Right.
happening there?
Okay. Well, it's hard to know, but it's clearly not going very well for the Israelis. The Israelis are not reporting much, but they've admitted to 10 fatalities among their soldiers. Hezbollah is saying it's quite a few more than that. And it's not going well because, in fact, you would be getting triumphalist reports from the Israelis if they were making real progress. From what I've heard is they've barely penetrated, and they've been, immediately found themselves in subject to ambushes and booby traps, and it seems like it's what we were predicting is taking place. Hezbollah is well prepared and has the advantage in the situation. It looks like a repeat of 2006.
But what do you think is going to happen? Are they going to try to pull out? Are they going to double down? I see that there's
Yeah,
more bombing raids, but bombing raids are going to destroy
yeah,
Hezbollah. It's going to
right,
strengthen the resolve of everything, turn more
right,
hatred towards Israel. So
right. Yeah, well, who knows? But here are two possibilities. Is one, as several people pointed out, the Israelis declared ahead of time that this was a limited incursion, and they had some sort of limited objective. Now, at the same time, they're warning all the residents of southern Lebanon to all the way up to the Litani River to evacuate. So that does not seem like a limited incursion, but they officially stated that it's a limited incursion, and as several people pointed out, that allows them to save face if they fail, which appears to be what's happening. Is they attempt this, it doesn't work out, they'll just say, okay, we destroyed an important base, near the border, success, mission accomplished, and just pull back and say, that's all we all really wanted to do. And, that's maybe what they'll do. Now, I fear that, as Chas Freeman said, that they may just take the Gaza approach if that's what happens, to say, okay, well, yeah, hey, it's too tough fighting these guys on the ground. Let's just go back to the air where we can, where our power is unchallenged, and just pulverize southern Lebanon. We'll give it the Gaza treatment, and then there's nothing left. We'll just move in. But even then, it's like the Hezbollah's underground. They can still is still going to be a very tough fight. So I don't know what they're doing. It seems like this was it seems to me, again, maybe things will change over time, but it seems to me that they made a severe miscalculation, and perhaps their initial successes, in decapitating Hezbollah in gave them overconfidence, and they're now suffering the consequences of that.
have we seen any types of larger rocket attacks or anything coming from Hezbollah or the
There have been
Houthis into?
there have continued to be rocket attacks. Actually, a lot of them directed, from what I understand, at troop concentrations close to the border. Again, military targets. The scale of attacks has gone way down. I guess that makes sense. It's just like the Iranians showed what they can do, and they can obviously do a lot more than what Hezbollah can do. Um,
Why do you think Hezbollah is holding back on its rocket attacks? If it
well,
doesn't
it's
seem
just
like
like
there's been.
they don't really have any need to do it right now. I mean, um, and yeah, they want to keep their powder dry for it. They make sure that if at some point it becomes really, it becomes necessary, or becomes to their advantage, they will. But I think at this point they're just focusing on the ground war where it's taking place, and their occasional rocket attacks are made in support of their ground effort.